Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another evening of Sober Talk Live. I see that Gina is already here. How you doing, Gina? Good to see you. Tonight's going to be another one of those exciting evenings where we continue talking about sobriety, and we're just going to have another relaxing evening along with some big announcements. I am doing fantastic. I woke up today and I found it not necessary to take a drink. And any day that still happens is still truly a miracle, let me tell you. Um, I have tomorrow off, and I know I've got some editing to do, big time, because Sunday, we're looking at doing a premiere along with It's okay, honey. It's okay. And then, of course, along with, uh, there will be a premiere as well Monday. Monday's going to be the big one, the real big one. And we're guesstimating that project home sometime. Hi, honey. You have. You just haven't seen me on camera since yesterday. Um, so it's going to be an exciting time as far as that goes. Um, you know, Project Spirit's homecoming and everything like that. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Um, Along with that, um, I mean, it's going to be a busy few a few days. I know we've got Tuesday Night Madness coming up. This weekend we're going to stay pretty busy for the most part. We're going to stay pretty busy this weekend. How busy? I don't know. Just kind of depends. So we're going to stay pretty doggone busy. But Sunday, oh shoot, they did it to me again. Alrighty. So there we go. Hey, what's going on, Harold? Good to see you. Good to see you. Sorry about that. Mike G was trying to give me a holler, which he goofed with us earlier today. So we're gonna stay pretty busy this weekend. I know we're moving Cinnamon Saturday to Cinnamon Sunday this week because Princess Faye, being at work that day, and I get out at 1 o'clock, so we would be hard pressed to make that work. So we talked about that at great length. And I said, the best solution is to move it a day, and she totally agreed with me that that would be the best solution for for um, for getting in the cinnamon live streams. So that's kind of what's going on there. So again, how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good, I hope. I know I'm excited about, another evening of sober talk. I look forward to this is one of the streams I look forward to more than anything. Um, and depending on how Saturday looks, we might go live a little early and stay pretty busy that day. It's kind of hard to say. But again, Sunday will be the very first time that we do. Thank you, dear. So that's kind of what's going on there. We're going to wait till about another 5 minutes, and then we'll announce how many watch hours that we have now. We are getting ridiculously close. Um, I think when I looked today, it was like 472, but we'll announce that again here in just a little bit. So 470 watch hours is what we're sitting at a grand total of. I'm excited about this. It's kind of like, here we go. We're on that road to monetization. So we're getting that much closer. So there we go. And I got a funny feeling that once Sober Talk gets shouted out today, that number is going to get ridiculous because Sober Talk is one of the ones that Sober Talk and the Cinnamon live streams usually get me my biggest numbers Um, the cinnamon live streams definitely get my numbers. Sometimes when I'm working on the car, I get pretty decent numbers, but most of the time it's sober talk is the one that gets me my numbers along with the cinnamon live streams. Doesn't get me necessarily view numbers, but it gets me my watch hours because most people will come in and they'll stay during the cinnamon live stream, so that's pretty cool. So we're still working out the details on the cinnamon live streams, getting kind of doing a little set work, but other than that, that's really about it. So, again, it's good to see everybody tonight. Double checking the chat. And again, I see Harold, I see Gina Marie's live. And of course, my beautiful, loving wife, Princess Feyru, who's going to be supporting us, throughout this stream. So that's kind of where we stand on a lot of stuff. We'll probably stay live tonight for right around. I'm going to guesstimate and say probably close to um, probably about an hour, hour and a half. Um, is kind of the game plan. What's going on, Ron? Oh, you've been playing on Steam? Yeah. I've got a few games on Steam, but I cannot stream those. If you want to see me lose my channel in a hurry, I can stream those. It's like that. I recommend basically they're adult games, and thought I might try them out. One of them, to me, it's like Pokemon for adults is really about how you could put it. Nothing much, just chilling. Oh, playing Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, okay. Um, I'm considering getting. I need to try again and see if we haven't got the bugs worked out of the OBS, and kind of maybe see about doing some different video game streams, because as it's getting later in the day, it's been getting a lot harder to do outside work. I would have to go live a lot earlier in the day, and I would end up probably tripping over some of you out there that I'm also trying to support, so that I don't want to take away from anybody. It's kind of one of those things. I mean, I need my watch hours, but I don't need them so bad that I kind of screw up other people too. So that is definitely not on the agenda. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. Oh my goodness. Hey, Jamie, good to see you. Another one of my Sunny sisters in here. We got Ron, one of my Eclipse brothers. We had Gina in here, one of my Eclipse sisters. I don't know if she's still here in the background. Um, so that's kind of where we're at on it. I mean, I need my watch hours, but I don't need them so bad that, I kind of, I don't want to jip anybody. I want everyone to get their time and get their support too. So, so tonight is sober talk. Now, again, we have to move the cinnamon live stream to Sunday. Um, really, Asphalt 9 Legends? Okay, I might have to check that one out. That sounds like a racing game. Definitely sounds like a racing game. I haven't played any good racing games in a while. I was trying one on the Switch and it looked amazing, but it is all janky. Um, I wasn't happy with it. Yeah, that's true, Ron. You're absolutely right. Some people are going to end up accidentally overlapping, but the objective really is that I don't want to. Basically, it's one of those things that I don't want to kind of jip anybody, because I'm still trying to support other people too, and I need to get over and see you guys in the Sunnies and Eclipse. But right now, there's actually some gamer friends that I'm really close to as well, that I've known for a little while now, that they're trying to get their channels built. So I'm doing what I can with them too. So it's like, I'm burning the candle at both ends here. So I'm failing some of you all out there, and I do apologize. You know, um, trying to get, help everyone out. And, I'm just going to end up dropping the ball somewhere. So I do apologize for some of you out there. It's just kind of one of those things. Sometimes I'm going to drop the ball. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. So again, if you're just joining us, Cinnamon Saturday is canceled, and it will be Cinnamon Sunday. Oh, thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. You're a good friend. And again, I'm very fortunate to have you and so many others. You need more watch hours. All right, Harold. You know what to do. You're one of my maverick mechanics. Drop your link so we can all get over there and support you. Most definitely. So we'll take a few moments here. And again, if you're wondering how close I really am to those watch hours, when I looked about an hour before the stream, it was sitting at 472 watch hours. It's like we're getting that much closer, and it seems like every day I get even closer than ever before to having the monetization again. Um, During the apocalypse, we got hit. We got hit hard, really hard. So hard, in fact, that it knocked us back a minute. And it's taken probably about 2 years, 3 years to get back to this point where we're going to have the money making stuff turned back on. I'm excited about that, and being the fact that we're able to go live by just about any means necessary. The nice thing about that is that the super chat will be open the moment monetization is back on, which would be a big help doing work on the project cars. I know Project Lean is definitely going to be in and out of the shop for a good little bit. There's a lot of problems with that car that we're going to go over um, here in the near future. We're going to do an edited video on. But then along with that, Project Spirit. Oh, thank you so much, Ron. Appreciate that. Along with that, Project Spirit should be back around Monday or Tuesday of this next week. I'm figuring probably around Tuesday is what I'm kind of figuring. Maybe in the worst case scenario, Wednesday or Thursday. Um, and we're probably going to start immediately when she gets home. There's going to be filming done pretty quickly. So we're going to be diving directly into that. Um, Now, in some of the filming is going to be going over the fact that her original inline six has gone about as far as it can go. So Project Spirits inline six will soon be pulled as soon as we get everything kind of around that car. Hey, what's going on, Hades? Good to see you, buddy. Um, how are you doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Come on, tell me how everybody's doing. I'm in good shape. As long as I'm sober, I'm good. You know, um, which if I wasn't sober, we wouldn't be doing sober talk. But we got to work some bugs out before we begin even looking at a V8 swap for Project Spirit. I know a lot of you would. I know there's a lot of people that keep saying, "Oh, rebuild the old six cylinder." Do a rebuild on it. And I initially wanted to do that, but looking at the prices and the fact that there are some parts that are just unavailable, it's just not going to work. That's just not going to work. It's not going to happen. There's no way I can do that. There are some parts that are just not available for the six cylinder anymore. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I appreciate you coming in at least for a little bit. Help me with that watch time. We're on that road. Since you missed it and you just got here, 472 as of this morning. Well, as of about a half an hour before the stream. So 472 is what we're sitting at. I imagine by the end of this stream, it'll probably be a little bit closer to 450. And I've got a funny feeling that after Monday's premiere, oh, we'll definitely have the watch hours. We will be premiering a video on Project Spirit Monday at about 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, US. So for those of you on the East Coast, it'll be about 8 o'clock. Hey, Queen Bee, what's up? Good to see you. Another sober talk. I figure I'd go ahead and kind of chill out for a few minutes and kind of talk about the memberships. Yeah, we'll turn the memberships on pretty quickly. Um, Oh wow. Yeah, we got to get your watch time up. We got to keep that watch time up. So, just chilling. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Again, Cinnamon Saturday has been canceled, but it will be Cinnamon Sunday. It'll be Cinnamon Sunday. I know a lot of you enjoy the Cinnamon live streams, and since it's going to be Cinnamon Sunday, there will be a Cinnamon video premiered that day, and there will definitely be, along with the Cinnamon premiere, there will also be a Cinnamon live stream. So there we go. Along with that, we will be filming, recording the one of the next cinnamon challenges. If you play Fortnite, most definitely, you have the option of coming on and trying not to laugh at the innuendo playing a couple of rounds of Fortnite with Cinnamon. So that is definitely on the table. So go right on ahead if you want to, throw your 2 cents in, holler at me through Discord, Facebook Messenger. I know Life with Ron has said he wants to do it, and he's probably going to do a face cam, and he's even threatened that he may even slap on some makeup and everything. So that might be really interesting. Along with that, the one that Ian did is definitely going to be up soon. I've already made the offer to Pinky. She's definitely interested. And I know probably tomorrow, at about noon my time, I will be on Fortnite with Mr. Raven Nuts doing one with him, recording that the cinnamon challenge with him. So heads up, we're going to have a lot of them. I'll be able to release these over time. Um, so I've got a lot of content built. I will have a lot of content built up. I just got to get this stuff edited out. I've got too many irons in the fire. So that is where we stand on all of this. So it's going to be a Cinnamon Sunday. Saturday, I have no idea what we're doing that day. I don't have a clue. Not yet. Not a clue that day. But we're going to stay busy. We're going to stay pretty busy that day. That's kind of the game plan right now. Um, we may even go live a little early that day, depending on what's going on that day. Depending on the weather and everything, because it's Missouri, and good luck guessing the weather. So that is where we stand. Again, how is everybody doing? Good. I hope everyone's doing good. I'm having a good time myself. It's been a nice, relaxing day. Work was not that bad. It went pretty quick, which is fine by me. So that's kind of where we stand on all of that. Um, Real quick, since this is sober talk, figured that an attitude of gratitude is definitely in order, because we are so close to monetization that I just got to say, not only am I grateful for all of you, but I'm grateful to the higher power of my understanding, the fact that I've come this far. The Prince Magnum channel has not exactly been, it's been a struggle at times, and there's been times I've wanted to kind of, it's like, what am I doing? Why am I even trying? That sort of thing. But now, that we're that close, it's like I didn't give up. We're still going hard, and I'm really proud of that. The fact that we're still going hard, that we didn't give up. So I'm really proud of that. I'm really happy with that. I'm grateful that I didn't give up. And here we are now, we're staring down the gun and getting ready to have the monetization turn back on. That's really exciting. And any of the money that comes in through the monetization be a big help, big, big help. Because, project cars need money. That's just the nature of the beast. Hey, what's going on, Viable? It's good to see you, buddy. Think different. Welcome to the live. We got a lot of wonderful people here tonight. Um, so yeah, we're getting close to having all that turned back on. And believe me, with project cars, it is not cheap. It is not cheap. Oh, thank you so much, Viable. Viable is actually, a really cool gamer here on YouTube, uh, but he's also really knowledgeable when it comes to tech. I mean, extremely knowledgeable. It's actually kind of spooky how much he actually knows. And I'm fortunate to have a guy like that around because there's going to be times that, believe me, I will say it now, and I'll say it a million more times. That I'm good at editing, and I'm pretty decent with those programs and things like that. You give me an editor that has some decent functions on it. Give me about 3 weeks, and I'm really good with it. And I know how to make it work and really fit how we do things. But when outside of that and outside of web page building, what's going on, Miss Kelly? Outside of stuff like that, believe me, it's guys like Viable that really teach me a lot of stuff about computers. There you go, Viable. So we got Think Different, we got Miss Kelly, we got a lot of wonderful people here tonight for Sober Talk. Um, just a lot of great people here tonight. And for those that don't know, Think Different is actually lives in my neck of the woods. He's actually seen Project Spirit up close and personal. He can, he knows it just about, when she's back from the shop, he knows that anytime he wants, he could pretty well go walk up and take a walk around her. That's just one of those awesome things. We actually have people that come in that's actually from where I live, which is pretty cool. That's really awesome. Just it's really neat that, here where I live, a lot of people know who I am and that sort of thing, you know. So he's actually from my neck of the woods and, you know, um, I can't remember what he looks like. Well, you know what, Ron? It's not for us to decide whether or not we deserve it. It's for us to be grateful for when we do have those good moments those moments that we can enjoy like that. Right. And, let me say right now, what are we viable. Love you, brother. Actually, I have a video that's going to be coming out. I just got to finish editing it. I've got two cooking episodes that are in the editor right now that I've just got to finish. And there's a collab that I did with the Eclipse. And I've just got to finish that collab. I've got one scene to actually film, and that is actually on the agenda. I've also got another scene I have to film. Really good stuff, really quality stuff, that we're doing here on the channel. But there is a bread episode that's coming up, and it's just going to be one of those things that I'm probably going to do a voiceover for. I know a lot of people really like my voiceover stuff, and it's been a little while. Um, real quick, a special shout out to the Eclipse who was kind enough to let me jump in on this collab because I'm still fairly new to the group. And I'm going to tell y'all, the fact that they let me in on the collab, being so new to the group has been an absolute joy. And a lot of the members of Eclipse have been very kind to me. I don't think I've actually met anyone who's ever been mean to me at all. Oh, yeah, yeah. Um, Ron does some really neat stuff here on YouTube. He does some really neat stuff. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he provides to YouTube. Um, he's got a good quality personality and just amazing editing skills and just a lot of talent, a lot of talent. There's a lot of YouTubers that just don't get enough credit for how amazing they are. And the fact that I know so many of you is just amazing. Again, another one of those God things that I chalk up to here in AA. Oh, you don't have to thank me, Ron. I call it as I see it. Miss Kelly, she's another one that has some amazing content. That's right. That's right. Um, there's a lot of us that are right here. Yeah, Harold's here. Harold's another one that he for a while he was doing these amazing remixes that just blew my mind. And I've got to get with him soon because him and I are going to be doing a collab together because he's does these amazing music remixes and just amazing people that we have right here on YouTube. Just amazing creative people, and it's amazing that I know so many of you. It's really cool that I know so many of you. Uh, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous has taught me an awful lot. You know, it's amazing how actually on TikTok I've been using TikTok to kind of shout out my YouTube channel at the same time, and it's one of those things that you never know anymore, this platform, that platform, that sort of thing. There for a little while, TikTok was kind of in this whole quandary sort of thing. And I went ahead and took the time and kind of sent just started using TikTok to kind of shout out the YouTube channel at the same time. Yeah, and I was actually really surprised at how many editing tools they actually have over there on TikTok. I was really surprised by that. Um, it's actually really neat how many of those tools they have. That's right. That's right. Um, you know, so I'm, again, to say that I'm lucky is selling my higher power short. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. I have so many wonderful friends that I've made here on YouTube. I know that if I hollered out, I feel like having a drink. I know a lot of you would say, "What can I do to talk to you and kind of get you through the moment?" And that's amazing, that so many people would come to, the rescue of this old drunk right here and try to pull me through. That's amazing. You know, and I chalk that up as a God thing. That's what I call it. And if you're still fairly new to, listening about sober talk, when we say God, it's kind of a generic sense. What do you believe in? You know, it's a spiritual thing, if you will. And there's a difference between spirituality and religion. There's a big difference. And I always use this definition. Religion is a group of people that kind of believe in God along the same lines, for the most part. Not all the time do they agree. And that being said, spirituality is your own personal relationship with God as you understand God. Okay, Ron, I'll see you when you get back. That's what we chalk it up as. Some of our rougher, tougher types will say that religion is for people who are afraid of hell. Spirituality is for people who've been to hell. I don't necessarily. I mean, that's okay. I mean, if that's what you want to believe in, but I'll be absolutely honest with you. Uh, that's really not 100% fair, because I know a lot of religious types that are extremely spiritual and they've never been through a lot of this. I mean, yeah, they've had some rough stuff, that's just life. But that's really not fair to them. I mean, what might be the equivalent to pain for some people might just be uncomfortable for another. I like that, Miss Kelly. I like that a lot. I'm gonna have to try to remember that. So there's a lot of stuff like that AA has to offer. Now, real quick, I also need to say that Alcoholics Anonymous does not have the market cornered on sobriety. There's like several ways to get sober now. It's just that AA has been doing it for a long time. And, I'm when I got sober, I was recommended to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I would like to say that I was like, okay, I'll go. But I actually argued with the person that was taking me in for outpatient treatment, but I'm glad I ended up going. Um, I've got so many amazing stories, and we've told a lot of those stories here on Sober Talk. We've told a lot of those stories. I need to call Sober Man, and I need at least at some point to go out and see him. Him and I have talked a great deal about getting a kind of a recording of some sort and kind of playing that right here on YouTube, so you guys can kind of learn from who I learned from. Kind of hear some of those things. And that's really awesome that, I'm fortunate enough to be secure where, I've got, the original teacher of my sobriety right here, you know, that just one of those things. Mystical Dorcas shared me out. Isn't that something? Man. Well, hello, Mystical. I seen you just shared me out. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, I'm kind of having a moment of gratitude. Um, you know, um, I'm sitting at 472 watch hours to go. And oh, thank you so much, Mystical. Appreciate that. Um, I'm having a big moment of gratitude. I'm getting much closer to my watch, having the monetization turn back on. I'm really getting close and I'm getting excited. But I need to take a moment, kind of step back a little bit. Oh, thank you so much, Mystical. Love you too. You're a wonderful, wonderful friend. And again, I shouted you out yesterday. And again, I'm going to tell you all, if y'all don't know Mystical, you're missing out. I actually, we're actually friends over on Facebook as well. And I will tell you that we've shared some very, some very, um, very personal conversations that I will say that she's one of the ones that I don't know if she knows it, but has probably gotten me through some different things. Again, there's times that I'll get off kind of in a corner and y'all share something with me, and maybe that day I'm feeling kind of low. But as you're sharing with me and I'm listening to hey, what's going on, Charlie? Welcome to live. Um, so as we kind of sit back and we share whatever's going on in your life. There's times that, as we're sharing those tough things that we're dealing with, what ends up happening is that if I'm feeling low, I end up, listening to whatever's happening in your world, and I feel of use, and you actually help me get through whatever it is that I'm hurting about. That's just a natural thing. When I'm helping people, I feel good. It's just something that Alcoholics Anonymous has kind of instilled into me. And that's something that, I remember, I'll tell you guys, back when I was probably I'm going to say I was about 5 months sober. Sober Man sat me down. He said, Prince Magnum, I want you to basically get into this habit. I want you to do something nice for somebody once a day. And I don't want you to tell a single soul about it. Okay. I don't want you to tell anyone about it. Um, and the reason being is I have an ego problem. I'm not going to deny it. I have a serious ego problem. Again, it's so good to see you, Mystical. I need to get over and see you a little bit more. There's times that I'll be editing, and I will admit that I'll be in the background, kind of lurky turkey, kind of supporting you quietly. But a lot of times when I'm like super busy working on a project of some sort, I'll be in the background, kind of supporting you. And if you ever see just kind of a random like pop up, but nobody says anything, it's usually me. Not always, but I won't say it's always me, but it's a lot of times it's me. I'm in the background just supporting you quietly, just trying to do what I can. Oh, no, you don't have to thank me. I appreciate you being there for me. Right now we're on the road to monetization. And every last penny that comes in from monetization will be a big help because it's going to go back into the project cars. Project cars eat money. They do. Project Lena needs a lot of work. Um, and as we get closer, I got to tell y'all, I'm grateful that so many of you support me in the YouTube community. that even those that are even outside of the YouTube community continue to support the Prince Magnum channel. I also need to point out the fact that, oh, I figured you were really close. I know you're getting close. If you haven't hit it, you will be. You know, and that's just the thing. There's so many of you that continue to support me, even right here in my own community. Our boy Think Different. He lives in my neck of the woods. And he's here pretty much every night. Sometimes he doesn't say a whole lot, but I know he's here, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for people like that who continue to support me. Um, for those that don't know, the Prince Magnum channel is the purpose of the Prince Magnum channel at this point, after Princess Faye's accident, is eventually she's going to lose her hearing. She's slowly going deaf. And I know disability doesn't hardly pay anything. And I want to be able to build this channel up enough where I can make enough money and take care of my wife. Because disability doesn't pay anything. So I'll be able to stay home, make videos, and take care of my wife. Um, you know, hey, what's going on, Sad Cat? Welcome to the live. Real quick, folks, since this is kind of a gratitude stream, I'm very grateful right now for so many of you. I'm going to tell y'all, Sad Cat has actually been with the Prince Magnum channel for 4 years. She's been one of our supporters for 4 years. Actually remembers some of my old video footage of Project Spirit, some of the old stuff, really old stuff. She's actually watched that car change a lot in 4 years. She actually probably also remembers a time when there was two Mavericks here on the Prince Magnum channel. I know she remembers that. And she also helped us with our first kitty cat rescue, Little Spike. Yeah, she was and I actually met Sad Cat. Her other half, and the person that she helped Spike find a home with. Uh, Very beautiful, loving people, just amazing people through and through. I wish we'd had more time to hang out, but um, just a lot going on that day. It was just a crazy, crazy kind of day, and it was a wonderful drive up there. Beautiful countryside in Illinois. Um, it was a lot of fun. Had a great time. Great time. Oh no, you guys were just, I wish we'd had more time. I really wished we'd had more time because meeting you, um, oh yes, and again, the Prince Magnum channel has allowed me to reach out to so many people and meet a lot of different walks of life. Um, And if you would have told me if you'd have told me 15 years ago, while I was in the bottom of a bottle, that I would be doing stuff like this, I'd have never believed you. I would have said, "Nah, you're full of crap, man. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen." You know, I didn't want nothing to do with people. I'm gonna tell y'all, if you compare to what I was like back then to now, it's night and day. I remember sitting there telling my ex-fiance, Lady Silver Mist. I remember telling her, she asked me what was wrong with me. Why was I always so angry? I said, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I am angry. I hate the world, and I just want to watch it burn. And the saddest part of it all I want more than anything else is another drink. That's all I want, is just another drink. Pretty sad. That's how I was back then. Then when you compare it to now, it's night and day. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be sober. I mean, I'm grateful for my sobriety. Yeah, I still smoke, and I still, smoke, I use it, e-cigarette, so I don't smoke as much. And I drink coffee like it's going out of style. But other than that, I mean, that's really the extent of anything that I do. As far as, you know, anything that you would consider a drug, nicotine and caffeine. I remember back when I was a med tech student, I remember saying coffee, candy bars, and cigarettes was the real breakfast of champions. And then, I remember saying that Kahlua White Russians was the breakfast of champions. Mickey's Malt Liquor was the breakfast of champions. That's actually kind of spooky when you think about it in a nutshell. When you think about it in that light, that that I could fall that far, where alcohol was the breakfast of a champion, and that's not really being a champion, is it? When drugs and alcohol take over your life that much, you're really not living the kind of hero's life, if you will. Um, and I remember for the longest time, I didn't really know what a hangover looked like because I didn't stay sober long enough to find out, you know. Um, I remember blackout drunks, coming to in weird places. I got to know, um, I remember a time I knew where I was by the pattern of the tile on the bathroom floor because I would go in to throw up from drinking so much, pass out in the bathroom. And when I would come to, I knew where I was by the pattern of the tile. I don't think they even make Mickeys anymore. I think that's a thing in the past now. And I remember the 40-ounce Mickeys. Um, I remember the 40-ounce Mickeys. I used to love Mickey's Malt Liquor. But I think that's a thing in the past. I don't even think they make that anymore. I know they don't make the 40 ouncers anymore. That is definitely a thing in the past. I remember one time I thought it was going to be a wine swisher, and I got this glass out and was no, it never really has been popular. It's always, it was like rot gut. It was just horrible. I remember it tasting really bad. Oh, really? They're in plastic? Yeah, it's. I remember the days when they were in glass bottles, and yeah. Um, see, Mickey's. I remember drinking Doc Otis. I remember drinking Doc Otis. Um, tried Rolling Rock. I hated Rolling. I always found that I always got sick on beer. Oh yeah, the grenades. Yeah, I think the most I ever drank in one night when it came to Mickey's, I drank six of the 40 ouncers and a six pack of the grenades in one night. I did that twice, and the second time, I had a severe case of alcohol poisoning, and my ex fiance, Lady Silver Mist, my head was resting on her lap, and she was running her. I vaguely remember her running her fingers through my hair, and I was staring up at the ceiling, and all I could do was breathe. That was really about it. I really should not be here. And she basically said, "Don't you?" She was actually about 8 months pregnant with our oldest daughter. She was running her fingers through my hair and said, "Don't you die on me." And I vaguely remember starting to cry and said, "Just let me go. I want to die." Obviously, I didn't. And I was kind of like that. I remember it was like I remember saying that, and then it was like snap your fingers, and I was sitting up. And the first words out of my mouth was, "Where's my drink?" And she said, "You don't need any more." And I said, "I'm fine. I'm, buzzed still." She said, "Do you know how much time lapsed from when you laid your head on my lap?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm not even looking at a clock." And she said, "You have been out, barely able to breathe for the past 4 hours." And I said, "Well, I feel fine. I want to finish my drink." Logic, my friends, logic. Alcoholics logic. Doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that to myself? But I did. Um, I was 22 then. I was 22 years old then, drinking like that. My liver should have went off like a hand grenade, but it didn't. I'm sure in some parallel universe it did, but in this one, I'm still here. Um, you know, so I got lucky. I got real lucky. Um, I should have died of alcohol poisoning that night. I remember several times being in the bottom of a bottle like that, um, and not know why. I remember several times, why am I drinking like this again? I couldn't understand. I didn't have a reason. And all I knew is that I just felt like drinking. But it didn't make any sense because I really didn't want to drink. It was like there was a part of me telling me to go ahead and drink, that it was okay, that I wanted it, and I convinced myself that it was okay. But at the end of, as I'm taking those drinks, I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And it got to the point where I didn't like the taste of alcohol. I hated the taste of alcohol. But the screwed up part is that I hated the taste of alcohol, but I still drank it. And I knew why I was drinking it. I wanted that drunk feeling. I wanted the effect of it. I wanted oblivion. I didn't want to feel anything. I didn't like the way I felt. So that was a common thing, a lot of that is that I just wanted the effect. I wanted the absence of feeling, I guess is the easiest way to put it, the absence of feeling. So in reality, um, that's the type of world that I lived in. You know, at day's end, I mean, I really didn't understand why I drank. All I knew was that I wanted to drink, even though I didn't want to drink, if you will. I didn't like spending the money. I didn't like the way that I didn't like spending the money. I didn't really like the way that it tasted. I didn't like getting sick all the time. And it always felt, um, if you stay drunk like that, it always feels like your world is narrowed down like this, and everything on the outside of, it's like you literally almost have blinders on, and your world actually narrows down to where this is all you see, and outside where my hands are, outside of that is just a fog. It's really weird. And when you first get into sobriety, you still suffer that for a little while. You still kind of suffer that, and you're almost walking around in that haze. Like you're not sure what you're doing or if what you're doing is right. It's weird how that works. And I remember these feelings all too well. Um, but why I live that way, the only thing that we know is that there's a disease. Um, that we know is alcoholism, and it grabs onto us like that and kind of makes we stay in that world. um and that's just how I lived. That's how I lived. um Yar ASMR, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you coming by. um we're talking about sobriety, but right now I'm actually describing the feelings of what it was like living in that world of alcoholism. Uh, if you yourself are an alcoholic, or maybe someone or you're just curious, make yourself right at home. Feel free to, if you will, kind of pull up and take in, kind of the experience of, someone who's actually my sober date. My first day of sobriety is February 7th, 2006. So this coming February will be 15 years since my last drink. It's been a long time. And only through Alcoholics Anonymous did I find sobriety. And today I get to enjoy living sober. Um, I got tired of existing in the bottom of a bottle. Today I get to live sober. So make yourself right at home. Um, Maybe there's something in something that I'll be talking about that might help you along the way, or maybe help you understand maybe someone that who's struggling with this thing. Maybe you yourself are. I don't know. I don't know. But make yourself right at home, you know. Um, and again, thank you for coming in. And if you do enjoy the stream, be sure to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, be sure to, you know, uh, you know, smash the subscribe button and ding the bell. That way, you'll be notified every time we go live or upload something interesting. Um, so again, that was my world. Living in it, basically, literally, it was like this was my world. It was literally narrowed down to, where my hands are touching my glasses, pretty much everything on the outside of my hands, that it was just a foggy haze. That's how I lived for a very, very long time. And it was hard that way. It really was hard that way. I remember when things were going good, it seemed like the whole world was really bright. I mean, just really bright. And then when things were going rough, it seemed like everything was a dingy, it just had this dingy, nasty look to it. Even things that should have been brightly colored, it just seemed like it was just dingy. Today, colors are just colors, and I appreciate everything that's around me. That's just kind of how it works. Even things that I don't like, I still have an appreciation for because it's there. I'm alive to like it or dislike it, if you catch what I'm saying. That's just kind of how it is. I mean, today it's kind of a balanced life. There are things that I run into that I'm not necessarily happy about, but I accept it for what it is. For the record, you hear about people saying you don't, you have to accept it. You have to accept it. That's the way it is. Well, just because you accept it doesn't mean you have to like it. That's just general knowledge that I don't think a lot of even people outside of Alcoholics Anonymous don't fully get. Just because you don't like something doesn't, just you have to accept it, but doesn't mean you have to like it. It's just the way it is, you know. No one ever told you you had to like something to accept it. That's just how it is. I can easily say that's the way the God of my understanding wants it, but I don't have to like it. I just gotta, that's how my higher power wants me that's, and you can chalk it up to a lesson in patience and tolerance, which sucks because I'm not very good at patience and tolerance, but you know, I'm getting better, you know, getting better over time. That's just the nature of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's just how it works. Um, for those that do not know, I have been through all 12 steps, or at least what we call the walkthrough, being taught those steps. And I won't necessarily say that, going through the steps makes me any more or any less than anybody else, but it does give me a distinct advantage in some cases. Some cases, not every case, but some cases, it does give me a distinct, you know, inside track in dealing with certain things. That's just one of those things. The old me didn't always necessarily like it, certain things, but I learned how to deal with certain things. Um, there are times that things will happen. I don't like it, but I've learned to accept it. So that's kind of how it is. Um, also dealing with, uh, also living, dealing with my alcoholism, and I didn't always like to get outside of my comfort zone. Here on the Prince Magnum channel, I started doing the whole, drag makeup thing, which I say that as a loose term. That's more of an art form. But Princess Faye does me up in drag makeup. And that definitely can get outside of my comfort zone. And then the whole act with Cinnamon, that definitely takes me outside of my comfort zone. Um, and Alcoholics Anonymous has taught me how to live outside of my comfort zone. If I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm about to grow. And doing those makeup live streams has kind of put me on the, I guess you could say, kind of move, helped me into the other side of the fence and kind of taught me a little bit more patience and tolerance in areas that even I struggled in. Um, you know, it's helped me a little bit more. So by doing that, I've actually, you know, grown a little bit more as an individual. And again, you know, we're back to that attitude of gratitude. Um, there's an old, you hear me saying that attitude of gratitude. Basically, today, you know, I'm with us being so much closer to monetization, so close right now. It's unbelievably close. Let me say right now, as we're getting closer and closer, um, I wanted to spend a little bit of time, actually a lot of time in this stream, kind of saying thank you, you know, not just to my higher power, but to all of you. Um, you know, I wanted to remind you guys that I do appreciate you guys. And, you know, again, Alcoholics Anonymous has taught me that, has taught me how to again live outside of my comfort zone, and has taught me to be grateful and not to just pay it lip service. Um, I remember something Sober Man taught me. Again, Sober Man again teaching me something special. Anytime he always says, Prince Magnum, my boy, I know I'm about to learn something. Something so special, something so exciting. And that's something that he has taught me and taught me very well. And I remember one day I was really going on about how grateful I was for everything he was teaching me and everything. And he was just sitting there listening. And he says, "Is there something I can do for you? Is there something I could, you've done so much for me. What can I do for you?" And he gets his tear right here, starts running down. And he smiles real big. He said, "Just give it away. Just give it away. You can't keep it if you don't give it away." And by that time, I started figuring out what he meant. Along with that, I remember another time I was going on and on about how grateful I was to be sober and still be alive and things like that. And he said, "Prince Mackham, don't tell me you're grateful. We alcoholics are, you know, have an amazing capability of talking, and we can tell a lot. You know, we can spend, we can, you know, say, you know, spend a lot of bullshit." He said, "Don't tell me you're grateful. Show me through service work and sponsorship." And every once in a while, when I start talking gratitude, I can almost hear Sober Man right behind me, still saying, "Don't tell me you're grateful. Show me through service work and sponsorship." It's been some time since I've sponsored anybody. I'll be absolutely honest with you. After my last sponsee, I had a sponsee that decided to relapse, and when he did, he ended up with a needle in his arm, and he OD'd and didn't make it back. And since then, it's been hard to want to um, say that I'm ready to sponsor somebody. And it's probably been 4 years. It's been, yeah, been about 4 or 5 years since I've sponsored anyone, and it knocked the wind out of my sails. Um, you know, it was hard. It was hard. He was 21. It's so young, so young. It's so much to give. You know, it broke my heart to see him go. Um, just a beautiful young man inside and out, and to watch him go was just too much. It Sober Man always told me, he said, "There's the good and the bad and the ugly here in Alcoholics Anonymous. The good is that you get to watch people get sober. The bad, sometimes you watch them go in and out. And the ugly, sometimes they don't make it back." That's hard. That's really hard, you know. Um, but he left behind a very important lesson for me. Don't take life for granted. You know, don't take life for granted. That's something he taught me. Thank you all so much for the 12 likes. I do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all so much for those 12 likes. Um, again, I'm as we, continue to press hard here on the Prince Magnum channel, we are getting ridiculously close to being fully monetized once again. During the apocalypse, we got hit hard, and it has been a struggle since then to try to make the channel work. And here we are now, getting close to making that happen once again. I'm grateful for this. I'm very grateful that all of you continue to support the Prince Magnum channel. But again, the only way I can really express that gratitude is to continue to try my best to present the best possible content, to try to continue with that knowledge that I've pushed for the last near 5 years here on the channel. Um, we are going to continue forward doing the best we can. And with the Cinnamon live streams, I'm hoping, even as uncomfortable as I sometimes get doing those, um, I will be straightforward and honest. If there is something that you can take from that, from those live streams and maybe apply it to your life, whether it's remembering to turn up the heat when you and your other half step into the bedroom, or making yourself feel a little bit more comfortable with maybe something about an aspect of your life, whatever the case may be, that I hope that you can take something away from that particular live stream. Along with that, if anything else, at least it can hopefully be some form of entertainment in your life and help you forget about the troubles of the world. Um, Sometimes with everything going on, it is very, very difficult to exist in a stress-free environment. I know there's a lot of people still out of work. There's still a lot of people under quarantine. There's still a lot of you that have serious, serious struggles. And I know there's still shortages everywhere. There's that there have been so many people. We're not fully over the hump yet. We're trying to get over this hump, and this whole pandemic has really, really been difficult on all of us. Um, I know that I have put in a lot of time at work, and I'm still scratching my head. I don't fully understand how in the world people who work in fast food can be considered what we call essential workers. I don't get it. I'm baffled by this. But that's just one of those things. That's not for me to contemplate. That's a little too big for me, that sort of thing. That's just one of those things that I guess I just don't. Oh my goodness, you guys have all said some stuff. There you go. Well said. Oh, Kevin, you're here. Oh, thank you so much, Ron. I'm so sorry. The chat has been moving, and I did not know it was moving. Okay, let's see. Oh, you came over here. Thank you for see Mystical shouting me out. No, you're absolutely right. How is the kitten doing? She has been absolutely just really, really exciting. I do apologize. No, I missed your drag racing game. I'm sorry. I have to get over there and check it out. Again, I apologize. I did not know the chat was moving. Sometimes it does that. It won't. The chat won't update for me. I apologize about that. I'm like, hey, it's been a moment since chat moved. Maybe I might want to touch some buttons or something. So I apologize about that. Uh, for all of you who've been, hanging out with me and listening to my experience, strength, and hope, as we say in Alcoholics Anonymous. I apologize. Um, Real quick while I'm looking at that. Kevin, I didn't see you sneak in. But by golly, it's good to see you. Little Zelda has been just absolutely, she's been all over the place. It's like chasing after a kid all over again. And for those that don't know, I'm the father of 5 adorable children. My oldest one is going to be turning um, Yeah, it's getting close to the weekend, and a lot of people are going live. A lot of people are going live, you know. Again, for those that do not know, being a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm coming up on a grand total this February 7th, which is really not that far away. It'll be 15 years since my last drink or drug. It's really exciting. Um, you know, I'm very fortunate to be sober today, you know, very fortunate to be sober today. It's really exciting. Um, I should not be here, as you've already heard. I should not be here, but I am, you know, and I'm very grateful to be alive and to be sober. And I know my dear friend Ron is in here right now, and he's had some struggles as of late. I won't tell his story. That's up to him to tell his story. But, it was a few weeks ago, he was going through some stuff and he went live and was talking about some of those things. But I will say right now that Ron has been an inspiration to me to push hard in Sober Talk to share that experience, strength, and hope. He has actually inspired me to push a little bit harder and share that experience out. So, Ron, thank you for reminding me that sober talk is a little bit more than I thought it could be. So you have been you may not know it. I know you're trying. You have your struggles and things like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're an inspiration to a lot of people, and you continue to inspire me to talk about myself. I've had getting to the point where I could say, I need help. This is too big for me. Um, to share those experiences and to share those experiences after I got sober. Real quick, I'll tell you all. I remember all too well when I got sober. Um, you know how a lot of people really thought that I was only gonna stay sober for about a week, and then I was gonna be back to it. And I remember, and y'all heard the story about my friend Tanya. And if anybody here wants to hear that story again, by all means, please put it in the chat. I would be glad to share that story once again. But real quick, I remember her saying, I think this is going to be a little different. There's something about this. I don't know what it is, but I think we're about to see something really, really exciting happen. And she kept telling everybody that, stick by him, stick by him. Something amazing is about to happen. And I'd like to think that it did. I woke up this morning and I had a miracle happen to me today. I found it not necessary to take a drink. Any day that still happens is still truly a miracle. It is truly, truly a miracle that it still happens for me. Um, you know, ow. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. I creak and pop. I shouldn't creak and pop like that, but I do. Um, so that's kind of where we stand on this. As we're getting closer to monetization, again, I want to thank you all, from the bottom of my heart, because any money that, we get through monetization will go back into the project cars. That's freaking awesome. That is really, 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 really awesome. How exciting is that? Come on. We have been on the road for a little while now, to 4,000 watch hours in a 12-month time frame. And we are so ridiculously close right now that I can taste it, and it tastes almost as good as my coffee, which is right here. Again, I thank you all for being here and continuing to support the Prince Magnum channel. You know, you would like to hear, hey, what's going on, filming? Welcome to the live stream, my friend. I'll tell you what, Kevin, since you asked for the story about Tanya, I will tell it again. And since you asked for it, I will tell it again. It is an emotional story. It is still hard for me to talk about, but I will tell it again for everyone here, especially since we have some new people in the live stream. So here it is. For those that don't know, when I got sober, well, just before I got sober, I had a friend of mine, a friend named Tanya, and I knew her through the medical field. For those that don't know, I'm actually a retired certified nurse's aide, certified med tech with insulin certification. I went on to cross train as in occupational therapy, um, which I didn't necessarily go for a certificate, but I did learn a great deal about occupational therapy and spent my time actually doing a lot of it. Along with that, and technically all I lacked was just going in and taking the test. That's really it. And then I took some courses to specialize in Alzheimer's and dementia. I have not been in a classroom since I was 24 and I'm 41 now. So now that I've said that, um, I worked at this particular nursing home and met this gal named Tanya. And we used to all hang out. A bunch of us used to all hang out from the evening shift, and we'd party hard and hang out and just had a good time together. It was a lot of fun. So now that I've said that, you know, I came home to and I had to work a double shift, and that's 16 hours straight. And I came home after working a 16-hour, and my fiance at that time had packed up our two daughters and left because my alcoholism was that out of hand. Um, so I came home to an empty apartment. And I remember rushing around, maybe looking for a sign that maybe she was just trying to send a message that if I didn't straighten up my act and go get help, that she really was going to leave me. But that wasn't what I found. It was straight up. Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much. Tell me, how are you doing tonight? You got to tell me how you're doing. I hope you're doing good. But basically, I rushed around the apartment and discovered that no, she really did leave. And I fell to my knees in the middle of the kitchen and said, God, how could I have gotten this bad? And I went on a 2 day bender. At the end of the 2 days, I sat down on my couch with a loaded 357 Magnum and was going to end my life. But it didn't happen that way, obviously. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be talking to me. Um, so now that I've said that, basically, I sat down, hung over, and was just about to pull the trigger, cock the hammer, tilt, and was going to pull that trigger, and the phone rings. Couple things. Number one, I almost jumped and pulled the trigger anyways. Um, and number two, I don't know why to this day, but I answered the phone. And it was my friend Tanya. She said, Prince Magnum, what are you doing right now? So I'm sitting here on the couch. What are you really doing? Sitting here on the couch with my 357. I was just getting ready to end it. And like any good friend, she started, yelling, put that dang thing up. What's wrong with you? And just start chewing me out. And I said, well, okay, but don't you want me to uncock the hammer first and maybe unload it? And she's like, yeah, you smart ass, and then go put it up. So I did exactly what she said. And like a good friend who's not an alcoholic, she chewed me out for the next half hour. Um, and then at the end of that half hour, she talked me into going in and getting outpatient treatment. Now, because of the fact that I was going into outpatient treatment, the state of Missouri actually paid for my time at the outpatient treatment center. The outpatient treatment center then talked me into going to get help through Alcoholics Anonymous. We all know that story. Well, Tanya, for the next month and a half, was my biggest supporter outside of Alcoholics Anonymous. Basically, I would go to work and I would go home and I would go to AA meetings. That was really my life for the first few months of sobriety. In that time frame, I started experiencing withdrawals. My hands would begin shaking. I would start shaking all over and go into where it was like I was just in an immense amount of pain. Wasn't nothing wrong with me, but I would just physically hurt. And I would oftentimes have to go home early from work. So I was missing a lot of time. I was in a great deal of pain because of this. And So I was in a lot of pain, in a lot of pain. Um, and I would go through withdrawals every 3 to 4 days during that time. And there were several times where Tanya was the one who held me while I went through those withdrawals. And I would be crying on her shoulder because of the pain I was in and saying, I just want another drink to make that pain go away. And she would sit there and say, don't you dare pick up a drink. I'm not going through this anymore. Um, you've got to get through this. And she did. She held me through, through that pain. She would hold me through those withdrawals. In that month and a half, she was also going through a divorce at the same time. I was single. And in that time, she was also dating my best friend. So, what I'm about to say next, I kept from her for a long time. I I ended up falling in love with her. I fell in love with Tanya, but I was afraid to say something. She was dating my best friend, and I'd done enough damage for one lifetime. So I kept it to myself. And what ends up happening is Tanya, you know, continued to support me and try to get all of my old friends back on board and supporting me in sobriety. Nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. But like I said, I fell in love with Tanya, and I'm getting ready to start my fourth step, and I give Tanya a phone call. I said, Tanya, I need to talk to you. What's on your mind, Prince Magnum? And I started laying it out how important she was in my life and how I appreciated her and how there's living angels that walk among us, and she was one of them. And how envious the rest of the world should be that I knew her and they didn't. I started laying it out. And in a roundabout way, I was kind of trying to tell her I had serious feelings for her, but I was afraid to say it. I never actually said, I'm in love with you. Um, and she kept saying, no one's ever said anything like this to me. This was on a Tuesday. Wednesday rolls around. She's in front of our director of nursing saying, I think I made a mistake. I think I was supposed to be with somebody else. Um, by Friday, she's in the hospital with what looks like pneumonia. To this day, we don't fully know what it was. We really don't. Um, Saturday, Tanya's talking to my best friend. She said, I need to see Prince Magnum. There's something I need to talk to him about. I, you know, I got a funny feeling I'm not out of the woods yet. And my best friend tells me, Tanya needs to talk to you. There's something important she needs to talk to you about. And I said, okay. Did she tell you what? No, no. I said, okay. So it's Sunday. I basically told my job to piss off. There's something important I need to do. I put on a nice button down shirt. Somewhere in all of my stuff, I still have that button down shirt. Nice pair of black pants, put on these nice looking boots, put on a good looking trench coat, duded up, ready to go. Went out and bought her a dozen of roses, went to the hospital, was getting ready to go back into ICU where she was. Her sister come, and I had full intentions. I was going to go back and tell Tanya how I felt. I was going to tell her I was in love with her, that I was head over heels for her. I didn't necessarily think that she was interested in me, but I didn't care as long as she knew that there was someone who was madly in love with her, all that good stuff. I was going to lay it out there. Her sister comes out and says, you can't go back. Why not? Tanya died on us twice. She's in a coma. They brought her back. She's in a coma right now. I didn't know what to think. Felt like the floor just fell out from underneath me. You know how you have those moments that, something so traumatic happens, it feels like you're falling forever, but you're standing on solid ground? That's how I felt. Um, I went back into the waiting room and I sat down. There I am, all done up nice, dozen of roses in my hands. Didn't know what to think. I was beside myself. Um, I just kind of sat there. Her whole family was there. Yes, honey. I just want to let you know how it's done. Sorry about that, folks. Evidently, the live stream decided to crash for a moment. Okay, where were we? So basically, I'm sitting in the waiting room, and her dad walks up and says, Prince Magnum. Well, he says, "Who are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm a friend of Tanya's. I know her through work." "Oh, okay, okay." I said, "May I ask who you are, sir?" He says, "Well, I'm Tanya's dad." And I immediately jumped to my feet and said, "Sir, I would like to shake the hand of the man whose daughter saved my life." Come again. And I repeated myself. And thank you, Kevin. And he says, so I said it again, I repeated myself to him. And he said, "I don't follow you." And I explained, I told him my story up to that point. I was a month and a half sober, so. And he said, "Whatever you need, son, you let us know. We'll do our best to get it for you." I appreciate that. And I was there about noon, all the way up until about 3 o'clock in the morning, just kind of sitting. And, I didn't know what to think. It just felt surreal to me. It really did feel surreal to me. But at the end of it, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I basically had to pull her dad aside and said, "Look, I got to go home and get some rest. I'll be back in here first light." And he said, "Okay." He said, "You go home, you rest." He said, "Do you live very far?" I said, "No, sir." I said, "Who lived maybe about, a 5-minute drive from here, if that," which that time I did. So I jumped in, my car, drove home, slept till about 7 o'clock in the morning. Sleep is a loose term, but I rested till about 7 o'clock in the morning, went back in. I get there at 7 in the morning. Tanya's dad sits us all down and says, "Okay, here's the deal. Tanya went again last night. So she's died now a total of 3 times. She's still in a coma. And the doctors have basically explained to us that if she does pull through this, she's going to be a vegetable for the rest of her life." So we have basically said if she goes one more time, we're not bringing her back. Um, that was hard to swallow. It didn't look good at that time. So he basically said they're going to start letting us go back. And when we go back, we need to say our goodbyes because she's not going to be with us much longer. And see, the funny thing about this is that when a friend gets sick, you say, "Well, you're going to get better." And when they say that you're going to be, when they get sick and it doesn't look good, you still have hope that they're going to get better. But then, when they say they're going to die, there's a part of you that doesn't want to believe it. I went home at about noon, got ready for work, came back in. They let us go back, all of us friends that were close to her. My best friend and a real good close lady friend of mine, Candy. She was on the other side of the bed, and I was on what would be the right side of the bed. And I remember seeing all those tubes and everything hanging out of her, all the IVs, and just the beep, beep, of the heart monitor and everything. I remember taking her hand and it was so cold. So cold. I'll never forget that. She was just a shell. I had to be the one. Nobody else had the strength. I had to be the one to say goodbye. I had to be the one to say, if you're tired, you want to let go, it's okay. I I'll never forget that. I was the one who had to be courageous enough. And I remember somehow I inherited 2 1-month coins. And I gave her one and said, no matter what happens, no matter where you go, take this with you. Without you, I wouldn't have got the other one. I wouldn't have got this anyways. And I told her dad, same thing. I said, wherever she goes, whatever happens, make sure she carries that with her. Because if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have made that 1 month of sobriety. I went to work. At about 6 o'clock, the director of nursing comes back. And she says, Prince Magnum, I got bad news. Um, Tanya just passed away. March 20th, 2006. I said goodbye to the woman I was in love with, and I didn't get a chance to tell her I was in love with her. It's still hard to talk about. I apologize. Um, I'll never forget the funeral. Dad kept me up there by the casket, kept saying I was one of her last great projects here on earth. I remember on her deathbed saying to her that I was going to be one of those AA winners you heard about, one of those great winners you hear about. I promised her I would do it. I'd like to think that I've done it, that I've been, one of those AA winners. I'd like to think that I've done it. I don't know. But I've managed to stay sober that entire time through the funeral and everything. If there's one thing you take from this, as hard as it is right now, because I'll be honest with you, I'm still choking back tears. Sometimes I break down and full on cry. If there's one thing you take from this, is that no matter what happens in your life, you can get through it. Whether you suffer from alcoholism, drug addiction, life in general, whatever it is you struggle with, you can get through it. And you know, because I did, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And it's amazing how that woman's story still touches so many lives, even to this day. I'm very grateful for the time that I had. Well, it's one of those stories. I've had people tell me, oh, this would make a great movie. It would make a great movie. But I'll be absolutely honest with you. I've never, I mean, it might make a great movie. But at day's end, I'm still sober, and her story's still reaching countless people, countless. But along with that, for those that do not know, Princess Faye knows this story and knows it probably as well as I do. Thank you, Kevin. Big streamer hug to you. But I will tell you, along with, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Kevin. Um, but along with this, Princess Faye knows this story and has actually left a note at Tanya's gravesite thanking her for saving my life. And been a little while since I've been out to see her. I need to go and see Tanya sometime and thank her again. Her memory still lives on because I'll tell you what, that was a fun and loving woman. I don't think there was, um, you know, I don't think there's ever going to be anyone like that again in my life, you know. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. So I know there's a lot of you out there that do appreciate this story. I know there's a lot of you that do appreciate this story, and I don't mind it, it hurts like hell, but I don't mind telling it. I don't mind telling it. Um, and again, just take away that there is a hope that you can get through whatever it is you're going through. You know, it's still hard to tell the story, but it still hurts like hell. I'm not going to deny it. It hurts like hell. But thankfully, thankfully, I'm still alive and still sober to tell the story. Thank you, Kevin. Big streamer hug to you again. So, despite the fact that, that I told kind of a sad story, let me tell you all that I appreciate everyone. What's up, Gamerian BRFC? What is up? What is up? Tell me, tell me, tell me. What'd you do? What did you do? You got to tell me. You ornery cuss. We're actually slowly wrapping it up for the evening. Um, we're slowly wrapping it up for the evening. I want to go spend some time with Princess Faye. Hopefully, Fortnite for her is a little closer. Hi, honey. Hopefully, Fortnite's a little bit closer than it was to being done. Oh my gosh. It's been taking forever. Again, at the beginning of this stream, we were sitting at 472 watch hours. Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. Appreciate you. 472 watch hours to go to full monetization once again. I appreciate all of you. Again, we are on that road. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Means the world to me. For those who don't know, my buddy Gamery and BRFC, he's like my brother from another mother. Absolutely a fantastic guy. Wouldn't have him any other way. Thank you so much, Kevin. Appreciate that. Again, I'm grateful for every last one of you. You guys are awesome. We're getting that much closer, to full monetization once again. And it's because of you guys. That is how awesome it is to be in my shoes right now. That I have so many wonderful people continuing to support me. This crazy old drunk who found a solution to his problem with alcohol a long time ago. And believe me, I'm grateful for you guys. Not only, I'm still a selfish alcoholic. Not only do I need every last one of you, the members of Alcoholics Anonymous to help me stay sober, I need. Oh, you're going, okay. I got to hear this. Okay. But I still need every last one of you out there right now continuing to help me stay sober. I need all of you, every one of you. So if you were feeling low today, just know that you helped me stay sober this 24 hours. And for that, I am eternally grateful for you. What what happens when a guy takes Viagra? I don't know. Well, I know what's supposed to happen, but what happens? I love it. I love it. That's awesome. You guys are skippy. All righty. So again, thank you all for being here with me and continuing to support me. You guys are amazing. You guys are the Maverick Nation. And I am grateful for every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. That brings us to a good stopping point. And traditionally, in all of our live streams and regular videos, we have a certain way. How do you get a lawnmower to quit working? I don't know. How do you get a lawnmower to quit working? That's a good question. Oh yeah, I know that one. I know that one. Or a potato. I know that one. Yep. Chokes on the exhaust won't allow it. Yeah. You got to be careful doing that because if you do that, you could also warp the valves. Gearhead stuff there. But anyhow, we do need to bring this to a good stopping point so I can go aggravate my beautiful, loving wife. I'm also getting hungry. Which means if I'm getting hungry, I better take care of me because my blood sugar isn't too far behind that. But that does bring us to a good stopping point in this live stream. I want to thank you all again for being here with me and continuing to support me. You guys are amazing. Every one of you. Hey, what's going on, Daniel? Getting ready to shut it down for the night. Been on for a little while. So, with the usual stopping point on Sober Talk, it goes a little something like this. At day's end, I hope all of you need me as much as I need you. I need every last one of you. And for all of you out there, I'm doing good. I had a miracle happen to me today. I woke up this morning and I found it not necessary to take a drink. Any day that happens is still a wonderful day. It's still truly a miracle. As I was saying, for all of you out there, every last one of you, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.